Alafia. Welcome to the House of Kundalini. It is Aliyah. And I think some of you guys might be wondering, like, what is she holding up? Yes, indeed, it's a tarot card. And this card is the Fool card. And if you just look at it by just glance, it definitely shows you someone that is heading for an adventure, right? Almost like they're running to this adventure because you see the leg up and the other foot is kind of like grounded. But if you look at the terrain, it's kind of like tilted as if this picture was shot or drawn midway into the run or what have you. And it also shows that this person is very passionate about their trail. When we think about this numerology of 0, 0 represents like infinity. And so it's like, what do you mean when you have the 0 on this card? This represents that that 0, for me, it resonates that life is full of endless adventures, endless journeys, endless risk-taking decisions at times. And sometimes you might have to be the fool. Sometimes you might have to take that risk and step out on faith and step out onto the unknown, depending on the circumstance. When we talk about the fool, we're talking about a risk taker, a gambler. But you have to judge, what are you risking and what are you gambling? Is it worth it? Will it work to the highest good for you and those who depend on you? Are you using your head when you're leaping forward for this adventure? So when you do this reading, you definitely have to garner your reading around the events that are surrounding that person or the people in question. When we talk about the Fool, we're talking about someone who pretty much is free-spirited, right? And being free-spirited is not so bad, but sometimes being excessively free-spirited, it can cause you to be very careless and reckless and end up with a calamity. The Fool is someone who goes with the wind. You know, it's like, I want to see what real life is out there. I want to test the waters. I want to go on my journey. It's about journey. But you have to choose your journey skillfully, right? And the Fool also represents some level of innocence and ignorance. And when you see different tarot decks, sometimes you see the Fool with that dog, the white dog, to represent, the consciousness, the purity within the spirit of that person, that inner man that's talking to them. When we do divination, and me talking in particular about tarot, we are definitely dealing with the mysteries of the unknown. And sometimes it's already known. It's just confirming some things or what have you. And with the Fool, it definitely teaches you how to step into the realm of adventures, concepts, and be courageous while doing so. Does this man look like he's weak? Does he look like he's scared? No. He is definitely stepping into this adventure with confidence. And sometimes when we read the Fool, it's encouraging us to be courageous. It could be encouraging you. I think it's time for you to leave that dead-end job and start your own business. I think it's time for you to leave that dead relationship and start a new life. I think it's time for you to sell that house and move into another location where you can afford. Or I think that it's time for you to start doing those house tours to see which house would be a really good home for you and your family. This is a very, very powerful card. This card is not telling you to sit down and lay down. This card is definitely talking about action. But this card can also tell you you might be a little too adventurous. Be careful, because you're risking too much and you might gain nothing or extremely little. So be careful with it. It could work different ways. You know, it's not a one-size-fits-all. This card is really talking about taking chances, not playing it safe. And when I say not playing it safe, a lot of times when we put a cap or a ceiling on our lives, we miss out so much because we're not stepping into life adventures because we're afraid. We're afraid to make mistakes and we're afraid of losing. Sometimes, as a friend used to say, sometimes God's rejection is really God's protection. And sometimes we need to step out on faith to see if we're going to get rejected, but you never know unless you put one foot in front of the other, just like this guy right here. You know, when we read the tarot, we have to look at these tarots almost like they're mirror images of us and our surroundings, or the people, places, and things that are pretty close to us. What is it saying? What are the infinite adventures that could be awaiting me? Am I sitting too much on my couch, having all these brainiac ideas, but not stepping out on it? Not stepping out and taking a leap with faith? Maybe your gamble could be wanting to start a new project, and you know you're good at it, but it might be a little too risque because it might be a little too taboo for others. So you're taking that risk of not giving a damn what anybody has to say. This is your journey. This is your life. Take that leap. Take that risk to probably have to ruffle feathers for you to feel fulfilled. I mean, it can really work so many different ways. Are you not happy with your spirituality? Or maybe the religious practice that you're in, but you feel like you resonate with something else? And you feel like you just want to take that adventure and learn more about what you resonate with and not worry about what the population or society has to say to you? This could be telling you that. Definitely life is a journey, not a destination. And no one can live your life but you. But I speak with caution as well. Know what you're risking. Know what you're gambling. Be very precautious in terms of leaping first without assessing the whole situation. Pay attention to the consequences before action. There are so many different expressions of the Fool card. Okay. So my expression and my understanding of it is not limited to what someone else probably would discuss. But this is how I resonate with this card. I connected with me. I connected for others who I read for. This is a very deep card. Very deep card. But anyway, anywho, if you are interested in receiving a reading, you can read the description box below with all the details. Make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe. Peace.